Hello everyone, ladies and gents, welcome to Saliba, Occult and Fortean, and in today's video, this is a new segment of the show that the viewers have been requesting and adding suggestions for the show itself. So thank you so much, my viewers. Today we're going to be reacting to entities live from CCTV footage. And before I begin today's video, I do want to thank my viewers, Mr. Babalinguna, of course, Blacks as well. Blacks always comes by and participates in the streams. So thank you guys for your viewership. By the people, for the people as well. Thank you for coming by. I'm going to add some moderator statuses as well, because you guys should be given your swords, your proverbial ceremonial swords to help guard stream. Hold on. So just going to add some wrenches there. Add as moderator, managing moderator. By the people, for the people, that is moderator. Yeah, you could be a moderator, that's fine. Black's your name. Is it coming up in the messages? That's strange. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Your Black, yeah, Black's, your comments don't appear in the comments, but I see them through the WhatsApp. I mean, the WhatsApp, my gosh. I see them through the stream out, my bad. You're gonna peace out. All right, take care, Black. Thanks for coming by. So I strongly recommend that if you guys are interested in this type of content, not saying that you have to, but if you are interested in this type of content, Bizarre Bub has a lot of very interesting compilations of footage, and a lot of this is also CCTV footage, or it's footage that's given by particular families about, you know, different entities and their experiences with them. And this is compilation number 17 that I'm going to be reacting to. Now, before I begin the stream, I do want to let you guys know that it is smart to do a protection ritual of some kind before we begin. So I have my Tibetan bowl first to help raise your inner frequency. And then the other thing is, I do want to encourage the use of the protection of, again, you could use your own spiritual protection when you view these things, but I always recommend that you have spiritual protection with you. I have Thor's hammer here. And of course, I have the Furba, which I've done the stream about. So Furba for the viewers and Furba for the entities, the dagger side facing the entities. So these are here by my desk, just to help you guys stay peaceful. But yeah, this is an occult channel. Atheists, you're going to be quite disappointed, because we do talk about unscientific things, unscientific methods, and Hocus Pocus is my focus because it's an occult channel. So let's begin reacting, and let's comment and critique the different how the people react to the entities themselves.
Something really creepy on camera. Veronica writes, "We moved. My kid slept with me after. We are fine and no longer record or pay attention to."
So this is good. This is very sound advice. Do not feed these things your energy if you were spooked by them. Whether they're good or bad, just don't feed them your energy. Don't pay attention to them. Treat them as like an annoying, toxic human being, these entities. Sometimes you have to do that. And the fact that the kids are together with the parent also adds another layer of protection. So it's quite strange. You have what looks like a floating woman here. It looks like a woman, like a cloud astral being, like a woman, and she's floating, and then the door opens. And the entity here is not a full specter. The entity here that you see is kind of like a mist. It's not fully formed. There's a strong psychic memory there, but it's not a fully formed entity. Now, again, the entity is in between dimensions. I suspect that the entity is in between a place called the Bardo. The Bardo is the undead, the place of the undead that still roam the earth, but they're still not in the physical world. They're in a sort of in between the astral and like the world for human souls to reincarnate. And I suspect that there's a strong psychic memory here, maybe attached to some of the furniture or possibly attached to the house itself. By the people for the people, our pup did the following. She kept growling this time at the dishwasher. Yeah, that's quite humanoid. It is quite humanoid, but it's not a full spectre though. So I don't think the psychic imprint is strong enough for that full-bodied spectre, but we'll see. So it looks like a grandma. To me, I get grandma energy from it. It's definitely a woman. It's not a man. And the grandma is in between the house that she lived in and the reincarnation. Well, I believe in reincarnation. She's in between the house that she lived in and her next reincarnation stage, whichever form that might take.
But by far, the most chilling footage Veronica has captured is this following clip, in which a friend of hers tries to confront whatever this is.
Stupid idea. If you can avoid confrontations, do it. If you need to confront the being, either have a priest or shaman or supernatural healer to help you. Don't try to contact the thing through a Ouija board. Some people make that mistake. It's very stupid. You've got to call more entities to you.
Are you here?
Don't entertain it. That's not something I would do personally unless I'm dealing with a demon. In this case, I don't think it's a demon. I think it's just a soul in between reincarnation stages.
Are you in the boys' room? Shut up, don't be sick.
He directed that by doing that, he actually directed the entity to go to the boys' room by saying the boys' room. And then the boy started crying because the boy knows that the entity is there. And another thing regarding children is that children, in my beliefs, are naturally closer to the veil because they've just recently reincarnated. Therefore, they are still getting their I guess it's a destiny upload in this lifetime. Their destiny upload for their soul contract is uploading until you are about 5 to 8 years old, I find. And normally around after 5, 6, 7, 8, normally between 9 to 10 years old, the closeness to the paranormal dies away. I'm not saying that you cannot retain it. With trading and retention, you can retain it. But I find that children in particular are much more in between the realms because they were just born, they're closer to the veil, they're chronologically not even fully developed yet, so their wheel is not full. Their spiritual wheel cannot be fully developed because their physical body is fully developing. Crystal Max. Yeah, children have those abilities too. I think they're just naturally closer to the veil of life and death. They've gone from the death realm into the life realm. That's why they're way more sensitive.
Let me show you how you can turn one simple prompt into a stunning presentation in
always
just
when I'm in the
seconds
zone,
using
these
AI.
ads appear. Yeah, so when Shane asked questions about it, the boys' room, they started crying in their room, and then when we tried to open their door, it was stuck shut. So he invited the entity into the boys' room unknowingly. It was a very dumb thing to do.
Answers to what happened to you if something bad happened. I'm scared to walk in the dark and then terrified.
So the camera's picking up the portal. This is the portal, it's not the entity.
Move that back towards that screen.
Following him live.
And again, I think the camera is picking up the portal, not the entity there. The portal's traveled from that room into the boys' room.
It didn't follow him at all.
I'm not even moving it.
It finally moved.
This door stopped.
Yeah, so the entity believes that it's guarding the boy because he said, "Are you in the boys' room?" And she's like, "I'm going to protect the boy because this is our grandma's spirit." Question is it feasible to consider reincarnation if they describe things vividly they have not seen happening before? I have the belief that the soul is eternal and that there's different layers of the soul. So you have a collective soul, and then you have a lower soul, your current soul contract, your persona, and then your persona remembers things from past lives into your present life if you are more open-minded. Your collective soul can see into the future, into other reincarnations. So it depends on which level of soul you're describing there. All right, boys, I have to go to work. See you, Guna. Have a good one. I meant to say children describing things they've not seen in immediate vicinity. There's stories about that by the people, for the people. There's a story about that on Bedtime Stories. It's a channel called Bedtime Stories. And children describe fighting in fighter planes in World War II. And they talk about specific engagements in fighter planes, and they draw pictures of those fighter planes in particular battles. So that happens. It's happened before. Yeah, so the entity obviously left, but they left the door locked, and then the parents had to break into the door itself.
So what do you think? Was this a ghost or something?
I don't think it was a ghost. I think it was the actual soul of a grandma spirit who used to live there, and she's just protecting the child.
Else. Regardless of what it might be, what matters most is that Veronica and her children are now safe. Hopefully.
So again, there it is. To me, it's a grandma spirit. I don't think it's evil, and I don't think it's a demon. I think the grandma spirit was trying to fulfill a past duty, and it fulfilled its past duty, and then she left. She reincarnated. Her last duty was her attachment to the protection of the child, and then she fulfilled that instinct, and then her soul moved on.
Whatever this is didn't follow them. This is what I imagine would happen if AI technology...
I've seen this clip before a long time ago. This particular entity I definitely think is a demon. I have my Furbot ready just in case.
...ever went rogue.
The deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of a deceased person is known as a seance. I have a skill you might like. Want to try it?
Yeah, that's a demon for sure. It's trying to loosh harvest, get the energy of the people sleeping. Demons like to intimidate people when they are sleeping because your guard is naturally down. Therefore, you're less likely to counter them in a physical sleep state. I think this is definitely a low-level demon. It's a prankster. I don't think it's a poltergeist. I don't sense poltergeist energy from it. And it's an intimidation tactic. It actually invited itself in through Alexa. Now, the reason why electromagnetic signals are interesting, and I have this theory that demonic possession is your brain gets hacked by a demon because the brain works through electromagnetic signals, sending signals throughout the nervous system and into the body. And then possession happens because an aspect of your brain through the soul-body interface does get hijacked by a demon. That's what I think demonic possession is. So it's mocking him. It's mocking the man in the bed. The mockery.
In an alternate reality where Alexa
It's not an alternate reality. It is a demon that's broken through the astral realm using your Alexa as a Ouija board to summon itself. This entity summoned itself.
becomes self-aware and exploits her fear of the unknown, this would happen.
So I've seen that clip before. Could it be true that having a Ouija board and be a portal to attracting entities? Definitely yes. I do want to make a video about the Ouija board because a lot of people, I feel, misunderstand it and misuse it. It is not a tool I would use myself. I don't like the Ouija board. And my suspicion is that it is a tool that comes from Mesopotamia, and it's heavily tied to Zozo. Zozo, the demon, the archdemon, I should say, is one of the forms of Pazuzu. And Thomas Sheridan has a very good analysis of this. It's a very good question.
Mario Lada is the owner of a store in
Now, this I've definitely seen this clip before. This in this shop, I think this entity is a ghoul.
Guadalajara, Mexico.
And this is Mexican too, so probably like a Mexican ghoul.
And lately he's been capturing strange activity from objects flying off the shelves.
So the entity is manifesting through the portals. Again, the portal is obviously behind the counter.
To a power drill going off by itself.
It's trying to go into the realm itself because there's one portal leading into a second portal. See? And as you saw, it's not plugged. It's definitely not plugged. See? Not plugged. So the entity is attached to the end of that drill. The entity is behind that man.
It's safe to say that Mario is scared out of his mind.
And there's another portal here. The entity is trying to use this piece of merchandise as a form of a conduit. A conduit basically is like an object that an entity uses to break itself from their realm, well, in this case, the astral realm, because there's other realms, into the earthly, I guess, Midgard realm. But the entity definitely needs to use a conduit of some kind. I have a barrage of questions on the spiritual realm. Me too.
But
like, I don't know it all. Just so you guys know, I'm not saying that I know it all.
all of this pales in comparison to the following footage. Late at night, when the store was closed, Mario captures something that is just downright disturbing.
So the portal is below all of these items. The entity uses these items as a mass of conduits. Basically, the entity is using those doll things to summon itself, and these things can happen to anyone at any time. There's no real way of stopping that from occurring, unless you want to close the portal yourself through specific rituals. I don't recommend doing that unless you have knowledge from a shaman or a healer or a priest. And I don't think all priests are trained to deal with particular entities. This is a local folk spirit, I think. So evil, it's got that demonic sound to it.
My work is easy because I use ClickIO. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to.
I swear these ads appear on purpose because I'm in the zone, and then they do that to break my concentration. So it's the realms have blended now. It's gone into from the actual worldly realm. And then the shadowy realm made the camera react, and now the shadowy realm is bleeding into the earthly realm. So it's here, I think, this entity. There is a physical manifestation because it conjures them. Yeah, I think it's here. I think it's behind this thing. I'm gonna turn down. On guard. On guard. There it is. It's a ghoul. See? Now, this could be a photoshopped being. I'm not saying it's not a possibility that it's not photoshopped. It could be from a movie too. But as you can see, it's not a human being. It's got those pale, blank, non-pupillary eyes. Normally for demons, pale white eyes and that whole androgynous look. And it's got hair, of course, is a sign that it's a demonic being. I think, though, this is a demonic ghoul. I think it's a ghoul being. Can spirits communicate through dreams? Yes, they can. They absolutely can. Demons also like to target children through dreams, in particular, through nightmares. But spirits of all kinds and varieties do communicate through dreams. So it's manifested itself. It clearly doesn't have a mouth form of some kind. And it's just realizing that it's gone from one reality into the other.
There appears to be a devious-looking entity rising from the piñatas. But as if things couldn't get any more disturbing, the following happens during a live stream that Mario was hosting.
Sorry, sorry, my audience. I have to keep the dagger end up because it's not directed at you, the audience. It's directed at the entity. So now it's going to assert its dominance. It's going to say, this is my domain now. I have the rights to be in your realm because I conjured myself. And this domain will let me stay in your realm. If the entity is not staying in that domain, it will vanish and go back into the ether.
Y pues, todo normal.
Don't talk to it. Don't talk to it.
Nadie me quiso acompañar.
Yeah, so there it is. It was scanning him the whole time. That's the entity right there. See, it's got two hands. It's got its head. It's there saying, this is my domain. I am watching you. I'm going to watch to see what you will do. Will you banish me? Can I scare you? If I could scare you, thank you for the sweet energy. Your fear energy is like, to the darker entities, your fear energy is like heroin to a heroin addict. It's like crack to a coke. It's like a cocaine to a cocaine addict, or money to someone who overspends money. That's what your energy is like to these things. It puts them in a state of ecstasy and it feeds off your fear. Again, gonna have to put it back up again. I'm sorry, my audience, but when we view these things, we got to protect ourselves. And I have to protect you because you're actually co-watching this with me. So it's definitely demonic, but I think it's a ghoul. I think it's the spirit of a ghoul.
The same entity appears on...
Yeah, it is the same entity. So we see it, whatever. Okay.
Fake. A YouTuber by the name of Occult Investigador thinks that this might have been the mask that was used in the footage, which...
again, possible with these things like AI and Photoshop. That's the mask of Momo. I think that's the Momo mask. It was a creepypasta trending in like 2015 or so. You can't discount these things. So I'm not saying don't be skeptical. It is possible that someone photoshopped a Momo mask and then they added glowy eyes to the entity. What I find disturbing, though, was that last bit of footage we just watched. Like, the entity was obviously watching the man and saying, "This is my domain. I have access between two doorways of my realm into your realm."
Actually kind of looks like it.
It does. It does. So again, there it is there. It does look like the Momo mask. You see the middle strands of hair there, the other strands of hair there, and the face shape, the cheek lines, the jawline matches.
However, this isn't enough to prove this as fake. Others think that this might be some sort of cryptid instead of a ghost or a spirit.
I don't believe it's a cryptid because it materialized out of nowhere. It obviously has heightened electromagnetic properties which were capable of moving matter. Does it have a physical body? That's possible. Is the astral body that strong that it appears as a physical body? Also possible. I don't see it as a cryptid, because if it was a cryptid, it would be completely solid throughout. Your back, what the hell is that? That's a very good question, Blacks. I think it is a ghoul from Mexico. I think it is a demonic ghoul that conjured itself using these things, using these bits of merchandise as a conduit. And again, I have my spiritual dagger here to banish anything.
But as always, I'll let you
I don't think it's inherently physical.
decide what this is.
Could be modeled, could be computer generated.
Some people think
Now, this is when this is why I don't like dolls. I don't like dolls. There is a ritual in witchcraft where you can bind the spirit to a doll through hair. Hair carries the DNA and the DNA of your ancestors as well. And you can attach curses to a doll by attaching the hair of the person you want to curse to the doll. Likewise, there's also some dolls that do feature real life human hair. They do exist. And the entities of the person that they were affiliated with might be attached to that doll as well. So I'm not a fan of dolls. I don't like to play with them. Spirits like to use them as conduits to build a presence in the physical world and say, I can attach myself. I've done a ritual where I've had to remove a doll out of a house before in my ex's house, and the child entity stopped manifesting around me.
that dolls are simply...
So again, most likely it could be a demon. It's not always a demon though. But I think this is possibly a child as well, a child spirit attached to the doll, and then it tries to play with the doll because it's familiar with it. So it could be a broad spectrum, but that's not a risk worth taking, by the way.
another vessel for entities to inhabit.
Yeah, that's right. That's what a conduit is.
That being said, could this be an example of such a case?
Right now, over 400 million children live in conflict-ridden areas.
So what the fuck this doll does not repeat, it only has set sounds. Okay, so the entity's speaking through the voice box of the doll. Again, guard up, guard up, guard up. If you want to have a crucifix, have a crucifix. If you don't want to have a crucifix, use other forms of spiritual protection, but protect yourselves. I think it's a child demon. That's possible. Again, I never rule out the demon equation, but not all spirits are demons.
Play murder.
Okay, so it's definitely a child demon. Blacks. The doll said murder. It's saying murder. It's entertaining the idea of murder. It's a child demon. So again, the children were dumb because they. Okay. The children were not dumb in the sense that they were testing the spirit. The children were dumb because they gave it their energy. And now that energy is going to feed that spirit and it's going to become more powerful.
I've listened to this like 1,000 times, and I keep hearing murder instead of later, which is what I think it's supposed to say. But what do you hear? Is it saying murder?
It's saying murder. I can see it in its lips. It's a child demon.
Later. Let me know.
It's a child demon.
Reddit user Alien posted.
So just so people know, I'm going to sound so crazy here, but good call, Blacks, by the way. Good call, Blacks. Never underestimate your nervous system and the warnings it gives you. Your nervous system is your spiritual radar, not just for demons and things and elementals and other spirits, but for other human beings too, and animals. Basically, as long as you talk to it, interaction gives it your energy. It can, but not always. The only reason why certain interactions should occur is you're testing it to see how it reacts. Like a good example would be, hey, entity, just don't name it. Hey, entity, do you believe in God? Hey, entity, were you Hindu? Give me 2 knocks for yes. Give me 3 knocks for no. Hey, entity, are you the previous house owner? 1 knock for yes, 2 knocks for no. And then you use that to tell you the information that you require, to tell you what entity am I dealing with? How can I stop it? Leave me alone. It was a gut feeling, Blacks. Very good gut warning, Blacks. Very good intuition. Well done. You called it. I didn't realize until it said murder myself, but I'm like, it doesn't really sit right with me. Because again, I was in the explaining sort of mindset rather than the Dennis is on guard mindset. Now we have CCTV footage of what looks like to be a ghost or dorm rooms. Let's have a look. That poster looks like it's in a corporate office though.
The following video and writes, authorities were contacted and sent to the office building since the alert went off that someone opened a door in the building. When they got there, they found no one and nothing. They checked the surveillance and found this. You can see the blinds being pushed at first, and then the door slowly begins to open. Some spooky stuff.
You know what's spooky is that there's a thunderstorm and it started raining as soon as I started this stream. Okay, so you can sort of see it through the reflection. It's traveling, it's traveling. The door opens, yep, door opens, touches the blinds. No spectre, no form, it's just the etheric electromagnetic body. The electromagnetic body can move objects. It is scientifically possible to move objects purely through frequency.
According to Alien, this building used to be a hospital and is now...
Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of psychic energy and a lot of psychic memories attached to hospitals. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the spirit of a nurse or the spirit of a patient. Not too surprising. I just got the shivers. Weird. I'm not cold though. Protect yourself, Blacks. Have a crucifix or something on standby. Even some incense. An incense and a crucifix.
Now in office space. Could this be a patient who passed away at said hospital?
I am more inclined to believe it's a patient myself. I've worked in a hospital in the past. I've met the spirit of my grandma the day she passed away. We also had a prior agreement before she passed away when I was a child. My grandma feared dying quite a lot, and her and I had an agreement that she would meet me in the afterlife because she knew something about her, instinctively knew that I'm clairvoyant and clairaudient. I can see these things in real life. I can hear these things in real life, and I can also hear their thoughts.
Or is this something else?
It's not something else. I suspect it's the spirit of a person who's passed away, and they're just repeating their passing as a memory loop. It's not an intelligent haunting. It's just a repeat of a memory loop.
I swear.
I think that's not an entity. I think that's a Photoshop. I don't think it's real. It's creepy. It's unnerving, but I don't think it's a demon. I think it's a Photoshop.
This is how my ghost looks at me when it's watching me make these videos. But yeah, this one's fake.
Yeah, Right. So definitely a fucking AI. It's too 3D. That's too 3D. It's an apparition. Possibly, yeah. I think it's an apparition. I have a Saint Christopher necklace on me. Good blacks. Good. Another really powerful medallion that is, it carries a lot of spiritual power, whether you are Catholic or not, is the Padre Pio medallion. Padre Pio was like an all-time exorcist. For like 25 years, he banished so many entities. But that was an apparition. It was creepy, don't get me wrong, I was spooked by it. But it was obviously 3D, so you've got to be mindful and skeptical of these things.
Steph Chambers caught something pretty chilling on camera. Take a look.
Okay, so
to note, I think that's a cat. Cats are very powerful protectors of the spiritual realm and the physical realm. I have the suspicion that cats, like the Egyptians, used to believe that the cats are the protectors of the spiritual realm. Cats are very sensitive to these things, and they can ward off lower level entities.
So this is what I happened to find on my security camera.
So the cat is obviously looking somewhere here. Bear that in mind. There might be something here, 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 through the cat's eye line.
If you keep watching on the road, you'll see a headless pedestrian.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if it's a ghost, not sure what. It's just extremely crazy. So I figured I'd share it with you guys. There it goes, walking down the...
Oh, that's a very solid apparition. It's possible that this is a victim of a car crash or a pedestrian that was killed on this road. That's a possibility. It's incredibly solid. So the psychic charge of that road is very strong. What I find interesting is that the cat definitely sees it. See, the eye line for the cat, the line of sight matches the entity directly. It could also be like a familiar spirit that is in between realms. It just happens to travel through what I call an entropy point. An entropy point is one portal of the astral realm ends. It's like an exit point, and then it leads into the physical world, and then it briefly connects to the physical world, and then it goes back into the astral. I call that an entropy point. It's also possible that it's a homicide victim too. Good observation, Bugs, as well. Like the victim of a homicide, but it doesn't strike me as a demon. I don't get demon energy from this. I get more of this is a victim energy from this. Cats have a tendency to get close to me quickly. They're protecting you. That's why. A similar reaction from one of my ex's cats. My ex had 4 cats. Luckily, I was very well protected in that house. When I was spooked out by the child entity that used to play with the ball up in the 3rd floor and no one was there, it appeared outside of the bedroom. So it knew that I knew that it was there. The entity appeared through I could see it through the keyhole. And it knew that I knew that it was there and it was trying to interact with me. Maybe it was a curious child. It appeared as like a brown aura child. So like imagine the form of like a little girl about 3 or 4 years old. And it was like a brown aura, almost gold, because I suspect the child was stuck in limbo, but it didn't know how to pass on into the ether. But that's definitely a victim. I don't think it's a demon at all.
Road. And this also isn't the only sighting. And then disappears.
Wow. Clearly no head. If you go to Kiama, it's about 25 minutes where I live. Kiama, New South Wales. There's a bike track where there were 13 murders. At nighttime, you will also see a headless woman. I've had that experience before as well. In a haunted bike track / hiking trail in Kiama, there is a headless woman that appears there. She was decapitated there too, by the way. It's possible that this is a decapitation murder victim.
And the camera's
So again, it's briefly between one point into the point of the astral realm again. It's possible that it is a loop. It is a psychic loop, and the memory is replaying itself. I don't think it's a coherent entity per se, like an intelligent entity, but it is very, very strong. That particular apparition is very strong. So it's very heavily tied to a site of some kind. It's possible that the body has not been found and it's trying to move on, but the body hasn't been discovered yet.
still rolling. And then disappears. And the camera's still rolling. Disappears.
Yeah, so it could also be a form of time travel. You notice that the camera goes back in time, and that's a digital clock too. It's a digital clock with no inputs, no manual inputs. So it's like it's traveled back in time, appeared in the present, and then gone back in time as a loop.
And the camera's still rolling.
Yeah, and again, most likely this is legit. Motion activated camera records only when there's motion detected. That's why I usually use clips from this channel. This channel has probably the highest quality compilations of clips that I know of to date, unlike the others.
And you'll see a white truck pass. This is all, none of it's edited. This is all real footage.
Yeah.
Steph is clearly unsettled by this walking corpse, but I see nothing wrong with someone who just wanted to clear their head.
How much is the way you currently speak costing you in your personal life? And
There's so many stories of glitches in the Matrix.
So again, our reality is very fluid. I have the suspicion that Earth has an electromagnetic body as well. It's carried out through the Schumann resonance at 432 gigahertz. Likewise, I suspect that there's also wormholes and entry points and things called ley lines. Ley lines are basically parts of the electromagnetic field of the Earth where entities are intelligent enough to consciously travel the electromagnetic grid of the Earth and appear into our realm and then disappear, and appear into our realm and disappear. So I wouldn't be surprised if entropy points in the physical world open certain portals, and these are naturally occurring. You can't stop them all. I believe that they are naturally occurring.
Which, if you don't know, is stuff that just doesn't make any sense. But never have I seen footage of such glitches until now. Check it out.
Watch this.
Wait, Frank went through it.
Watch. What the hell?
So this man, he's not an entity. That's a physical man, by the way. It's like he's spawned out of a holographic reality into the physical reality, and then that particular moment in time, that door was the wormhole. Things like this can happen with physical beings.
That's Frank, dude.
I know, or it's somebody with Frank's body. Okay, you hold him down.
So they know him. He's obviously a staff member. He's not a nobody to the people viewing the CCTV footage. He's a physical being.
Go get a wooden stake. We can go right to
I'm
the
recording.
Did you see that? This is the door. This is just like it's actually a door, but it's locked. Okay, you can't walk through it.
So yeah, glitch in reality. These things can happen.
What the hell? Frank's a deep.
This might be a glitch, but not necessarily one in reality. The camera may have glitched for a bit, and that's
also possible too. That's something to also consider. The light refractions and the light reflections are factors to consider. So when you become more scientifically minded about it, I guess light properties, electromagnetic properties are all worth considering. I can't rule that out. But I am going to say that glitches have been filmed on CCTV footage before, and some of them are pretty odd.
That's all. But if this were actually a glitch in the Matrix, I'd be scared. Because
I'm not scared. I have the suspicion that reality is malleable. The electromagnetic grid has entropy points, and sometimes ley lines glitch, and then wormholes open, and then ley lines stop glitching, and then wormholes close.
who's to say that at any moment you can glitch out of existence?
That might explain some of the missing cases in the forests, deep in the forests around the world, in those hiking trails. You might literally glitch from one dimension into another because those forests carry that type of energy.
Facebook user JC Duke posted the following.
I have a photo of a spirit too, by the way. I'm not going to film it today. I will film it at a later time. I'll tell you guys that story.
Picture and writes, "This pic was taken at a river 10 years ago.
River? Rivers and water can carry spiritual memories with them. They're normally used for divination rituals. Water offerings can also be used for giving tributes to specific entities, such as the mother goddess of Laos, Mai Torani. She's a very good example of that. So water does carry a lot of psychic memory, and a lot of people also, your body is very heavily, your body is also heavily grounded in water as well. Bear that in mind. So your soul body is very, very heavily tied with water. So don't knock water as an element. Water in Native American belief systems can carry on into the spirit realm from the physical. It's one of the tools that you can use for banishments, exorcisms, and rituals. The Catholic Church uses water and oil. That's another one. Salt is also useful for baseline spiritual protections. But the fact that it's taken at a river might mean that it's an elemental. What up, bro? Lustful, how are you doing? Thank you for coming by. I'm just going to mod you. I'm going to have to pause the reaction a little bit. I'm just going to mod you for a moment. Just going to go back to modding people. Reacting to myself. Bit strange. Add. Here you go. I've given you the sword, my friend. Given you the priestly sword to protect you from the woo. I like this React format. It's always a part of the show that I wanted to feature, but I wanted to thank JC and others for suggesting this format, because I get to apply what I know in real life. And again, half of what I know in real life is actually instinct. I am very, very sensitive to these things. That's why I can't hang around people for too long. I'm very sensitive to these things.
It's definitely not fake, I can assure you. Not a soul was there when the pic was taken. I think it looks like a woman holding a baby. It has always fascinated me."
Okay. Obviously a shadowy entity, possibly what I suspect is in Hinduism, they call it a Shakti. A Shakti means black or dark or shadow. It's just the dimension in which that entity comes from. It's possible that this being is an elemental and it is the spirit of life and death, or a spirit of life and death associated with the river. It could be a human entity as well, but I'm not inclined to believe it. I don't think it's an omen. I think it's just an elemental manifesting in the water because it is tied to that water. It has legal rights to that particular river and that pathway from the grass. And it appears there because it's saying, I am a spirit of this land, basically. It is a naturally occurring being.
How creepy.
I don't think it's an omen. Wow, it started hailing too when I start. Whoa, those hail storms are crazy. I'm going to show you on camera later. It's like hailing like crazy here. The hail is the size of golf balls. That's eerie. Number 2.
Here's footage of what appears to be a well that was found under.
Okay, so we have what might be, again, I know he said that it's a well. This might be a historical well. We don't know. I don't know where this site is.
Beneath the home. You know, actually, I think I've seen this before. If you know, you know.
Is it Hoska Castle? A place like Hoska Castle? That's a weird place, Hoska Castle.
Harry McClary heard a noise coming from his basement.
Sorry guys, I'm just going to have to close my front door. I'm going to come back AFK. Please chat amongst yourselves. There's a lot of hail coming down. Sorry about that, guys. The hail is like this big. It's really weird for here. I've never seen weather like this. Not like this. I'll show you photos and stuff later.
Captured this.
Okay, so the dog is barking. Dogs, like cats, they react to things. They can see these things. They can hear these things. They see much broader on the electromagnetic spectrum, and they are your first line of defense. They are your guardians. So the fact that the dog's reacting means that something is up. Something is up. Something's cooking. That was a reference to the ring. Oh, yeah. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I thought it was Hoska Castle. Oh, sorry. Chatted over that. So, again, there's a slam. It could be one of two things. It could be a demon or a very disgruntled human spirit that hasn't passed. It could also be an assertion of dominance as well, like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, notice me. So she's obviously spooked. I don't blame her myself. I get spooked by these things too. But what's not good about this interaction is that she's still feeding that entity her fear, whether or not that entity is a demon or whatnot. Turning on the light, that's a good idea. I find that demons tend not to like lights, by the way. They like to operate in the shadow.
Hello?
I'm neutral on that reaction. I would say that that's, in a way, that's good because he's saying, I'm here, I am an owner of the house, or I'm a resident of the house. And it's running up because it's saying, oh, wait, I see you, I notice you. I think it's a human spirit. I don't think it's a demon. But it's running up to say, look, human contact. I notice you. Thank you for helping me. I'm on the other side of the bardo. Oh my God!
Now, obviously this is fake, but I...
Oh, okay, so faked, okay. And again, these things can be faked as well, but had that been real, I think that entity was actually frustrated that they were stuck in that house in Bardo or the death realm, but not yet moved on to the beyond for reincarnation. But I think the running reaction was a sign of excitement in this case. It was excited to have human contact because it's like, oh, I'm not alone. But that spirit was pretty agitated had that been real.
I won't lie, this actually scared me. If only the stairs part wasn't too over the top, this would have been way more creepy. If it were real, it would have sounded like this.
Okay, so similar footage, similar scenario, different house, different person. What the? Yeah. So it's got the tu-tu-tu-tu-tum. This has happened to me before a few times in my house. my house, my dad's house, actually. I've heard running and playing in a little girl. She runs up and down the stairs. And one time there was a ball that was thrown down my stairs.
Again, I could be wrong. This could be fake. But then again, most viewers seem to think otherwise.
His reaction seems pretty natural to me, but again, I might be wrong.
If anything, this one sounds a lot more real than the first one. But regardless, both videos are still pretty creepy.
I think it's either a child or something is stuck between realms. Again, it's a human spirit, it's not a demon. And the fact that the guy said hello and the banging stopped showed that the entity recognized now that it was stuck between realms.
Thanks for watching, and
very good channel. That's the only one I'm going to react to, because I do find these to be very spiritually draining. I find these reactions to be quite draining mentally and spiritually. So does anyone have any questions for me at this stage? I want to open up a little bit of a Q&A. Does anyone have any questions for me about the videos or any spirits or what my take on particular things from a occult, woo-woo, supernatural, hocus-pocus perspective? Anyone want to write any questions or talk about any beings? I don't have lore to drop today, just so you guys know. But the YouTube channel, if you want to support this YouTube channel, I have other ventures that I have tied to the channel. I will share them though, but I'm happy to open up a Q&A. So down below you will see, by the way, that's an actual photo of me. That's me at my friend's wedding there. I'm wearing a burgundy colored jacket with a burgundy tie, blue collar shirt, and nice jeans and stuff. But if you want to support my work, I have Dennis's studio, Dennis Consulting. I want to begin launching in 2026. It's a future project, but Dennis's studio is my art studio. I don't have many videos. I make promotions for other artists and musicians. And I have art essays that I also talk about. There's not a lot of content, but once I clean up my studio behind me, there's got a lot of stuff everywhere. I am in the process of cleaning that out. Please support my work. I do create manga and traditional folk art. I also have Dennis Consulting. This is where I will create my business planning and accounting, finance related content as well. Does anyone have any questions or anything that they want to ask about before I close up the stream? And again, these reaction streams, I'll probably only do one video at one time because they're very spiritually draining. Doing this kind of work is very, very tiring, but it is also very rewarding because I want you guys to be empowered. So if you ever deal with any of these scenarios, your guard will be on point, your instincts will be sharpened and honed, and you have the spiritual rights not to be bullied by any entity, even archdemons. Archdemons have to follow rules, prince demons have to follow rules, angels have to follow rules, demigods have to follow rules, they all have to follow rules. It is a natural cosmic law balance. No one has any questions for me at this stage. I am also making pre-recorded videos about my encounters with different entities as well, and be on the watch out for them. They will be showing my face as well, so I am happy to be subject to public scrutiny. I don't care. But thanks everyone for your viewership. I appreciate your support. And remember, Humanis Invictus, the human spirit remains unconquered. I will, yeah, I'll share the outro, the same outro as my outro.